Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Seen and Heard, an entertainment interview podcast. My name is Jim Hagan, and today I am talking with a very good friend of mine, Martin Carlton. Martin is an actor. He's a guy that does stunts. He's a musician. He works around his yard. We're going to talk about a film he just finished. We're going to talk about his time out in LA, his incredible journey after he jumped out of a tree, and a bunch of other stuff. This podcast can be found on YouTube and wherever you find your podcasts. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all of those links can be found in the description. And hey, if you want to be on this show or you know someone that could be on the show, hit us up on any of those platforms or send us an email at podcastseenandheard@gmail.com. And if you like this sort of contest, please like, subscribe, and share. Let everyone you know. Anyway, here we go. Let's get into this conversation with Martin Carlton. Okay, well, hey. What's up, Martin?
Are we recording? Is this live?
Yeah, we're going.
Good morning,
Hey,
Sam. I'm
you look good. How do we know each other? You and I have known each other for, as far as I know, it's been more than 10 years, but like as close as we are has been not that long, but we met a long time ago. What do you remember?
It's just funny you mentioned that because I was thinking of that this morning. And I'm trying to think of the year because it was when we did that play, Run for Your Wife.
Correct. It was 2013 is when we met.
Is that what it was?
We did the show in 2012, but then we did it again the next year, and you took over one of the roles.
Oh, that's right. Okay. You were involved with the first time?
Yeah, I was in it the whole time. That was actually the first stage play I did as an adult. I had I had 4 lines. And I'm going to tell you right now, when they recast that role that you took over, I'm not going to say I was offended, but I was available.
But and I had no idea of any of that. Or did I? I knew very little. I'm like, they produced it before, they're doing it again, and they need somebody. Okay, so they brought me in. I had met Andrew Canode on The Avengers when they were doing 2011, I think. They were shooting The Avengers down in downtown. And the day I arrived, I walk in, I get on the elevator, and then some other guy gets on the elevator with a PA or something. And he turns to me and puts out his hand and says, "Hey, Andrew Canode, damn glad to meet you." Or, "Andrew Canode, nice to meet you," something like that. And I'm like, "Hey, Martin Carlton, damn glad to meet you." That's a line from Animal House back in the day. John Belushi and Tim Tom. Anyway, so we clicked immediately, Andrew Canode and I. I think he's how I got connected to that. He was doing the Jimmy Stewart Christmas movie. What's that called?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life radio play version.
It was the same stage we did Run for Your
Worcester. No, in Orville.
Correct. It was in Orville.
That's how I met James Kovacs as well. And and I think that's how, because I don't remember auditioning for Run for Your Wife. I think he just
No. It was a matter of the show did its run in Orville, and one of the actors just couldn't do it. So I'm sure Andy just reached out to his buddy Martin.
And the rest is history, and here we are.
And the Medina version was better, but it is what it is.
Because you had more lines.
That's how we originally met, but it was how many years later?
I might know. Yeah, 13 and 13 is 26. So here we are, 26.
Well, no. When we met again for the first time, I auditioned for King something or other in the at the Mapleside Farms. I didn't even know, like, I recognized your name, but I didn't think you would remember who I was because, like I said, I had 4 lines. So I sent in an audition for King Orchard. I auditioned for the bad guy is who I auditioned for.
And I
And then you
can't.
reached out to me and you're like, ah, you're too nice.
You got to really bring the evil, Jim.
Yeah, I guess I don't have that in me. So you cast me as the king instead.
Orchard,
And
King
yeah,
Orchard,
King Orchard. That was
and the
just a short
princess and
little, like a 15-minute kids show thing we were doing 5 or 7 times a day
yeah.
at a farm. And then at the same time though, you were doing the pig races. And I am I've always considered myself a dramatic actor or whatever, and not very good at improvisation or whatever.
Mhm.
And you had said, "Hey, there's just 2 of us. We need somebody to do this hour." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not good at improv. I'm not funny. If it's not scripted, I don't know what to say." All of, but you convinced me to go down there, and I did that for 3, 4 seasons. So much fun.
It was so fun. It was so fun. Um, it's I think there's a lot of, peripheral obstacles to doing that. Otherwise, we would still be doing it, right?
Oh, right, at the farm and with Timmy and all the people up there. He's actually got a couple other people. I don't know if he's doing it this season, but he's got other people lined up, and apparently he's just having a great time still.
And I'm happy. I'm so happy. You know, my cousin's daughter went to high school with him in North Ridgeville, and she must have saw my post or something that I'm looking for people. The first year we were doing the Princess and the Pumpkin at Mapleside, and uh, I needed a puppeteer, and Tim came in and he said, "Yeah, I'd be happy to do that." And just, Tim's he's just so
He's
positive all the time.
all the
I've
time.
never hear I've never heard Tim say something bad about anything or anybody ever. He's always just positive. That's just great. But he came in and just took over the role of the chicken, the chicken puppet, and then he's been there ever since. That was 2016.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
10
He's
years
such a
later,
great guy.
and now he's running. He's doing what I was doing.
I'd ask one question, and then 40 minutes would go by, and he'd be like, "Hey, we're done."
And we're done.
He's so good. So what are you doing now?
So I'm really excited about Gatling. It's the movie that Matt Cain wrote and directed about a mixed martial arts champion who retired because he lost his young daughter,
Okay.
and then he's coaxed back into the ring by his former protege, and then I end up training him for this one last battle,
So you're
and
the trainer in this movie. Okay.
I'm the trainer. Yeah, I'm like Mickey from Rocky, well, from oh, except I'm not like that. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. We just got some news. They're very close to picture lock. Um,
Well, good.
yeah, and
Did I
yeah,
see a trailer? I thought I saw a
it's
trailer
like a
recently.
teaser trailer. Yeah,
Okay.
he put out a teaser trailer. Real fast clips flashing by, but it really kind of gives you a feel like you want to see this movie. So I'm excited to see that movie when it comes out. Bullets, Brothers in Blood, that's been out on Tubi and Prime. That's been fun that I have that rollout, and that's just a good feeling, when you've got a role, you got a good decent role, a good meaty role, and it's out on streaming services. That's
How did your whole performing journey begin? You haven't always been in Ohio, have you?
I have not always been in Ohio. Of course, I was born and raised here and moved around a lot. Oh my God, blah blah, dysfunctional family, all that jazz. But no, I went to LA in 1990, December of 1990. I was out there for, I guess, 2 months shy of 10 years or 20 years, but I call it 20 years. I was out there for 20 years. And oh my God, what a great thing. What a great experience that was. Uh, being in LA, going to do what you wanted to do since you were a kid. That's what it was. It was absolutely that. I dreamed of working in the movies. I didn't know what I was going to do in the movies, but I just dreamed of it, and I went out there and did it, and I had so much fun.
What
Yeah.
kind of stuff did you do?
When I first got out there, I met a guy. I worked with a guy here in Ohio. I answered a plain dealer classified ad. They were looking for help on a short film he was making. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to do that. So I went out and helped him. This guy's name was Tom Koba, and he had a video production company. He lived out west, Berlin Heights, Ohio, and he shot a lot of photography and he shot a lot of video production stuff. But he would do his creative stuff every once in a while too. And so he was doing a short film. I don't even remember what it was called, but I just came in and helped out, and I had a blast. And then he started calling me on, a couple more things, and then I told him, "Hey, I'm going to be going out to L.A." And he goes, "Oh, I got a buddy I went to college with. They went to OU together, and he's out there trying to be a screenwriter." So he gave me this guy's number. So when I got out there, I called him and we chatted for a little bit, and then he called me like 3 or 4 days later. This is in like mid-December. Yeah, mid-December of 1990. He calls me and says, "Hey, I got this gig. I'm working on this thing called The Flash. If you want to go, we can try and get you on." And I went, "Oh, okay." It was the TV Flash from 1989-90. And it was produced by Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo or something like that. Anyway, those guys went on to make big movies. But anyway, John Wesley Shipp played Barry Allen, and what's funny is that my mom knew him because he was on some soap opera that she watched. We'll come back to
Oh,
the mom and the soap opera thing
she's
too.
excited for you because you get to work with somebody she's seen on TV before. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not because you're doing it, but because you're working with somebody she's.
Yes, exactly. That's great. I know nothing about Hollywood, um, I meet this guy and he says, "Oh, bring this, bring that, some clothes, stuff like that." This is back in 1990. I don't think you can do this anymore. But it's on the Warner Brothers lot, right? It's a night shoot, and so he says, I'm going with him. He goes, "Okay, carry this duffel bag." He's got a garment bag with clothes in it. Because when you work as an extra, you got to bring in changes. You got to bring in stuff for them to look at, some options. They tell you on the information thing what stuff to bring, what color, stuff like that, what to avoid. And then you bring a bunch of stuff. And then when you check in, you go to wardrobe and they look at your stuff and they say, "Oh yeah, put that together with that, wear that and that," and then good, you're good. And if you need anything from wardrobe, they hold on to your voucher until you give it to them at the end of the night when you wrap, and they give you your voucher back so you can actually get paid. But anyway, so I didn't have a voucher. I wasn't signed up on this thing. We're doing what a thing called specking is. You're going to work on spec. You're going to show up and see if you can get hired. And he says, "Yeah, carry this duffel bag, throw this towel over your shoulder." Um, he's got the garment bag. And then as we walk into the gate for Warner Brothers, we both just wave. He says, "Just wave." And we waved at the guy waved back, and we just walked right in. Didn't check us in, didn't take names, nothing. It was great.
Yeah, you're
And
not getting away with that now.
yeah, no, not at all. But and then you can see the trailers where the production trailers are and stuff like that. And that's where the ADs, you got to check in with the assistant director when you get there. And then they check you in, blah, blah, blah. And Denny, this guy Denny said, let's hold back. And we were just hanging around. And then we saw some other guys go up to the trailer door and said, "Hey, you guys taking specs?" He goes, "No, we're all good. We're all booked." And I was like, "Oh no." So we didn't, that's why we didn't check in. And then somebody yelled to us, "Hey, if you guys get checked in, check-in at wardrobe, or you get cleared at wardrobe." And so we went over to got in line, and wardrobe looks at me. I'm wearing this long sort of suede trench coat that I have. It's really kind of weird, but kind of cool. And they approved me. "You're good. You're good." "All right, great, thanks." And then Denny got approved. Great. And so we just blended in and stayed there. I never checked in. But my face was there from the beginning. So nobody questioned who I was.
Right.
And it was a call of probably about 30 people, something like that. Oh, dude, it was great. They have a holding area. They put you in some warehouse room, until they wait for they need you on set. But dude, when I'm out there on set, I'm standing right next to the big Panavision cameras, the big, and it's on the dolly. and all the crew, and I'm like looking at that. It's just freaking amazing. And I was,
Eyes are huge. You can't
my
believe
eyes
you're
are huge.
there.
My
Right.
stomach is tickling. I'm just like a little kid in a candy store.
Oh, that first time is just feels so good. Right. Yeah.
It was so amazing. And it was a night shoot. And Denny has a day job, right? So he takes this night shoot, but he's in the holding area sleeping because he's got to work the next morning. Probably about an hour or two after we wrap, he's got to go do his job. But but I was up all night watching everybody like a hawk, watching how everything worked, and that was just so exciting. So from there, um, uh, I did more extra work because Denny showed me how to sign up with other extras casting agencies and get extra work. And then I'm hanging out with Denny one time. Now, mind you, I'm not in LA at this time. My parents, my stepfather is in the Air Force, and he's stationed at Edwards Air Force Base, which is about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes north of LA. And it's not an easy commute. You don't want to do that every day. So,
Especially in LA traffic.
but I would come down into LA, and Denny lived in Glendale, which was a lot closer to everything. Um, and so I'd come down and visit him, and we're hanging out, and he showed me the trades. There was the Hollywood Reporter, the Variety, and thing called Dramalog. And in Dramalog, I'm thumbing through this thing, and they got all kinds of audition notices for this or that, and da da da. But they were auditioning for Universal Studios, their live stunt shows. They had three. They had the Miami Vice Action Spectacular. They had the Conan the Barbarian show, and then they had what they called the Riot Act, which was their Wild West stunt show. I'm kind of like, should I go to this thing? I don't know if I should go because I'm not prepared. It says prepare a monologue. I don't have a monologue. Bring a headshot. I don't have a headshot. Dude, I've been here for like a week, 2 weeks in LA kind of thing.
Yeah.
And uh and I'm like, you know what? Just go just to see what it's like. And that released all pressure. That was the smartest thing I could have done, because then I'm like, I get there, they take a Polaroid of you, so they got a picture. They give you an information sheet to fill out, and I fill out because I don't have a resume, right? So
Right.
I'm writing down that I did.
No, you didn't.
I wrote down that I did the high fall in the first annual Martin Carlton Stunt Special.
Which which we're gonna get to. We're gonna get to that.
But and then Tom Koba, the guy I had worked with, and he introduced me to his friend Denny. Tom Koba in Ohio. He had told me about a feature film that they shot the year before I met him, and it was some horror thing. And then they had a guy fall out of the top level of a barn into a tree shredder. And I remember he showed me some scenes, stuff like that. He goes, "Oh, you do stunts?" At that point, I'd already done it. So I told him about that, and we'd do fight scenes and stuff like that. He goes, "Oh, I could have used you for this stunt. We had this guy fall out of a barn." And I remembered that conversation, so I wrote that down too, because it's a little independent horror film that isn't even released yet. Nobody's gonna know. How are they gonna find out? So I wrote, "Oh, I did the high fall and the survival 101, blah blah blah."
Right.
Maybe that helped. That it looked like I had some stunt
Some
experience.
experience, yeah.
Yeah. But
That's
and then I had this character. So I was doing in my basement, my parents' basement, where I lived in North Olmsted. I was doing coming up with my own characters. I was a big fan of Saturday Night Live and all the skits and characters that people were creating. So I did a lot of that. And that brown suede coat I mentioned earlier. I wear that, and I wear this weird kind of hat with a brim, and I created this character named Louis. And Louis was a guy who he talked like this. And wait a minute, I'll tell you the story. It's a good story. Anyway, so I go to the audition. They give you an audition number, and I'm like 265. There's like 400 people or something auditioning
goodness.
for all the
Yeah.
roles. So they're starting out at the beginning. So I'm like, I've got some time. So I went out in the parking lot with this coat, and I just walked around, and I created this Louis monologue. And
Sure.
I don't even remember what I said, but I went in and I did it. So when they take you into audition, I don't know if everybody does this, but there were, uh, uh, like a square room, and there were chairs on two walls, and there were other actors were in there, or more. I don't even remember, but there were other people in the room while you're auditioning. This is early on. I didn't know that would be
Yeah.
so uncomfortable for me today. I
Okay,
think.
well, that's a common theater
Is
audition
it?
thing. I
Is
mean,
it?
there's constantly people sitting there watching you audition. So, but I know the film auditions I've done. It is rare to have anybody but the director and the casting director and the camera guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that can be a little bit off putting, especially if you have to focus into a camera while you're auditioning.
yeah, yeah. But I think it worked for me because the stuff I was doing for Louis, I do comedy, so people were laughing. They were,
Oh, and that helps with your energy. Sure,
oh
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. That just you get a laugh, and that instantly links your confidence. Like, oh, okay, I'm doing the right thing. It's working.
right,
Going. So
yeah. So you
that
had
was
that
fantastic.
confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, and so let me hold there and jump back to my life here in Cleveland. So I
Well,
used to
hold on.
do.
Before we do that, we have to do an ad break. I don't
Okay,
I don't have any sponsors,
well,
but
we're
but
gonna do that. There
all
might
the
be
big
one.
popular podcasts they have ad breaks. So that's
So
what
we're
we're
gonna
gonna.
go break away. Take a second. I'm gonna take another bite of oatmeal then.
Well,
Well, you're
sure. When
an
you're
ad
done
break.
with the oatmeal, I'm gonna need you to look into the chat.
Hmm. Oh,
I've got something for you to say. There's a line for me at the end. I want you to do it in your best ad announcer voice.
well, yeah.
Yeah, what is that? Oh, that's just a bottle of water. Okay.
Well, it's coffee.
It's
It's
just really long.
let's go juice. Yeah.
So I just have a glass of water. Okay, so this is the ad break. I just need you to read this in your best announcer voice. I've got a single line at the end, and then you have one at the end. So that's all it is. Okay, so here we go.
Well, here we go. Can I just read it first and
Okay,
take the time?
you're
Go.
on the spot, Martin. All right, read through it. Read through it. Read through it.
This episode, I'm still practicing. This
Okay, okay.
episode of Seen and Heard is brought to you by Background Extra Insurance. Have you accidentally looked directly into the camera? Reacted a little too enthusiastically to an explosion? Blinked during the dramatic reveal? Background Extra Insurance, because somebody definitely noticed.
I thought nobody would notice.
They noticed.
Thank you, and that's our ad break. Wow. Okay. So
We do it? You want me to do it
we
again?
are no, we're good. We're good. We are on track to be one, just like all the other podcasts that are out there. No difference at all.
I
Okay,
love it.
good.
I love it.
So anyway, back to
So,
Cleveland. You were,
back
I
to
assume,
Cleveland. When we were in my youth, all right, I would put
yeah.
fight scenes together and chase scenes and stuff like that in the neighborhood with the neighborhood kids. My brother and I still have old video from before I went to LA, of him and I doing some fight scenes in the backyard. My best friend, Jim McFarland. Oh my God. He and I were huge Kung Fu martial arts, Bruce Lee fans. We'd go to anytime there were Bruce Lee movies showing in theaters, we'd go see him. And we would choreograph fight scenes. We'd just take the time because we didn't know any martial arts. Neither one of us. Actually, Jim met a guy who taught him some Wing Chun Kung Fu. So then we spent a summer he teaching me what he learned. And so we put these fight scenes together. So I was already doing that and doing that for a long time and loved doing it. So I got, let's see, the audition, once you do the monologue, it also consisted of a fight scene. So what you do is you're in a different room, the stunt coordinator's there and his assistant, whatever. And you pair up with somebody and they teach you a fight scene and you
Okay.
both do the same, a punch across, a cross punch, a front punch, stomach punch, blah, 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 just, and each person does the same thing. So, and I'm rehearsing with this guy who later became a friend of mine, Steve Rizzo. And he was very stiff because I've been doing it for a long time. So I'm very soft and very fluid, like a Kung Fu and karate, not the saying he knows karate, but it's very stiff, right? It's very
Okay.
hard. And anyway, those are the only sort of relations that I can kind of compare. But anyway, he was very stiff in the way he threw his punches and stuff like that. So I switched with him to with somebody else, worked with somebody else for a while, and then switched back, came back to him, and um, and did the fight scene, and then that was the end of the audition, done. And so we just waited, and like I think a week or two goes by, and then they call you and say, "Hey, you got a call back." Sweet.
That's
I don't know why. And this was in March. I think the audition was in like the very early March of 1991. And then, but anyway, so at the callback, they said prepare a monologue. So now I went to the library. I looked up monologues. I didn't know what I'm looking for. I have no theater experience. I got nothing. But I find a monologue book and I pull one out and I do it. And I don't know what I'm doing. But I get there and they had us read some stuff from the script, so we didn't actually do a monologue. So I'm like, oh, that's great. And then they taught us a fight scene again, and we paired up with somebody. And I got so fortunate. I got paired up with this guy named Lon Gowan. And Lon's still a good friend of mine today. He lives in Atlanta now. But Lon had done Western fight scenes when back home in Vermont. He was from Vermont. Um, he had done this before. So he knew, and he was an actor, he got a degree, all that stuff. So he knew to just go slow and take it easy. So that's what we did. I took his lead on that, and we worked very well together. And they said, okay, thank you very much. We'll let you know. A week later, they call us, say, oh, you've tentatively been hired for the role of Cole Hopper in the Wild West Stunt Show. And they said, keep the next couple of weeks open for rehearsal. Well, I don't know what's going on. He goes, oh, you got the job. I went, oh, I didn't know because it wasn't you. They said tentatively, and I kept the 2 weeks open for rehearsal and never heard anything. Oh, no, yeah, no. We're starting rehearsals on Monday, and it's going to be 6 weeks. I went, oh, okay.
again, the communication is never been good in
No,
film. It just
no,
hasn't, and it never will be
yeah, no. It
unless
just
you're a star.
unless you're a star, and then
Yeah,
you can demand it.
right.
But I'm like, okay, psyched, super psyched. I see some other guy there, and um, we finished the orientation. It was like safety and gun safety and this and that. And then I go back to the set. I pull in and I park, and I'm walking because where we parked, it was a hike. So they had shuttle vans shuttling us up. So now I didn't have a shuttle van. So I'm hiking up the hill, getting to this location, and somebody sees me and hey, what are you doing here? I said, oh, I left my ID in my car. They told me to go get it. They needed it. Oh yeah, well get up there, hurry up. PAs like that. The PAs have no power on the set except when there's an extra, because the extra
Yeah,
is the absolute lowest on the
yeah,
totem pole on a film set.
yeah.
So
I've run into some
PAs,
PAs that take
PAs are
advantage of that
just
too.
above.
Right,
So I go
right.
over to makeup like, hey, where have you been? Oh, I had to get my ID, and there was a foul up. I don't know what it is. But then they did my makeup, and I just, boom. That was my last day, because Monday I started on the Universal Studios Wild West Stunt Show. And
Not to rush you,
they cast me as the character that does the high fall at the end of the show. So
because of what you did in the first annual Martin Carlton stunt special, I assume. Let's talk about that. Where did that
let's
come
talk
from?
about that. Oh my God. I need a sip of coffee.
Well, I'll tell you, since I've met you, I have heard the words Martin Carlton stunts or first annual Martin Carlton stunt special about 1 billion times. You're proud of it, and you won't shut up about it.
Till the day I die. I think it'll be on my gravestone. The first annual Martin Carlton stunt special was here.
Where'd that come from?
Oh God. So just growing up as a kid, wanting to do movies, and my favorites were action movies. I just had that as a kid, and I'm talking 7, 8 years old, the desire to perform, you know?
Yeah.
And one of the things was The Wizard of Oz. when I saw The Wizard of Oz, I wanted to be the Scarecrow so bad.
Yes.
The other thing I liked is Wide World. Do you remember the Wide World of Sports?
Love the wide world of sports. That
So every once in a while, that we'd have the Chinese acrobats from Taiwan.
well, yeah.
And I love that because the way they could move their bodies and flip and turn and do all this stuff. And then the other thing that they would have that I'd really check out would be the martial arts demonstrations, the karate stuff and like that. So those two combinations, and that with the Wizard of Oz, that was all my world at that time. This is my background, right? And performing and martial arts and action. So this is what I want to do. Now, I get a video camera. I think I bought it in Florida. I was living in Florida for a while. I bought a high-8 camera, shot a little bit with that, but that was costly.
Right.
Having a camera is great and it's awesome. I I would set the camera up and then get in front of it and put on different clothes and do characters, right? But I'm like, I want to shoot some of those action scenes, that fun stuff. Because when we were kids, I would design these action sequences. We were on our Huffy bikes. You remember those motocross Huffy
Right.
bikes? That even had a sticker on it, a warning label that said, "These are not designed for stunts." We did stunts anyway. Whatever. Dude, we were jumping ramps all the time and
Right. That's what kids
over
do.
garbage cans, over kids. I had one time 4 kids laid down and I jumped over them on a ramp. Crazy. But
Nobody
so
was scared either because we were
when
all
we were,
kids.
yeah, we're all kids. Yeah, we'll be fine. Um, so I want to do something though that's more like a movie. I'm a big fan of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it was an hour-long TV special. And they showed behind the scenes of Terry Leonard being pulled behind the truck. Well, he's holding on.
Right.
He's and how they dug a trench in the thing so he could ride underneath it, and there's enough room for him so he doesn't hit the truck, and just all kinds of stuff. And there's a transfer. Okay, they talked about a transfer when Indiana Jones goes from the horse to the truck while it's moving.
Sure.
That's called a transfer. You're transferring
Okay.
from one thing, and then you're moving. So I'm just gathering all this information and stuff, and then so I'm outside in our backyard, and there's these trees next to each other, and I've done this before where I climb up from one tree and kind of get the tree swaying. It sways over to the other tree, and I grab onto the other tree and let go, and then hold onto this new tree, and then get that sway.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
And I'm not that high up. I mean, maybe I'm 10 feet up. It's not that big a deal. The two tall trees in the back, and I'm going, man, I bet I could transfer from one tree to the other. And I'm thinking that it's exciting. I want excitement. I'm doing these characters in front of the camera all the time, and it's like, it's funny, but it's just kind of boring. And I want action, and I don't know how to write an action sequence. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking I can jump from one tree to another. And I thought about it for weeks and weeks. And when I planned this, I use the word plan very fickly because I didn't plan anything. It was like
Thinking about it. That's
I'm
what your
thinking
plan.
about
Your
it.
plan was I
Oh,
thought about it.
yeah, I get up here and I jump, and that's there's no planning. Let's get the wind velocity and the angle, and no.
No.
So,
Right.
but
Are your shoes tied? Like that was the plan.
yeah. Are my shoes tied? Yes. Oh, because in the stunt special, you hear me talk about. I think I'm pretty much prepared, and I'm just wearing. I'm I'm calling out the layers of clothing that I'm wearing, as if that's gonna help. Oh my god. So, but I got my brother to hold the camera, and I just did it like I would see a stunt special on TV. They always had guy, okay, what we're gonna do here today, we're gonna attempt to do this, or we're gonna try to do this, and So I just did the same thing, from what I had seen. So, talking to the camera, and then we get my brother up, and I had no idea. Um, we just wanted to get me in the shot, right? But as we look back at it, and I put my brother higher up in the camera than me, so it was looking down at me, so you can see me, but then you can see the ground below, and you can see how high up we are. And that was not planned, but we just kinda accidentally got that, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's great. That's a great shot."
Sure.
So, and there's other cool shots in that thing that, uh, I didn't expect, from my brother Greg is not interested in movie making and stuff like that, he's holding the camera. And, there's one where I'm on the ground after I make the jump, and I'm writhing in pain, and I say, "Go get me a glass of cold water," and he sets the camera down, and then just before he leaves, he adjusts it a little bit and cuts out the flare, the sun flare that was coming in. He didn't
How
know what he was
lucky.
doing. Yeah, very lucky. So those little happy accidents. The Martin Carlton stunt special is a stunt special that I made in my backyard, shot on VHS tape, and me trying to jump from one tree to another, and I almost make it. And then
Almost.
the the aftermath and the audio and stuff before and after the whole thing. It's like about 12 and a half minutes long, and it's just fun. It's stupid fun. It really looks like it really looks like I'm just an idiot who did something stupid. And while there is
Which
some of
which
that,
to be fair,
to
you
be
kind of were an idiot that
kind
thought
of
he could do it.
kinda, yes,
And
my ability and my timing, there's a lot of good things in that
there
that
is there
that
is
you forget
a lot of
they're
there are a lot of funny
overshadowed by
moments.
the idiocracy.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
yeah,
there's good funny moments where you're in pain, so you really shouldn't be laughing, but you're not like screaming or like you've kind of got your you're under control. You've but oh, but people are laughing at you. It's
exactly.
happening.
I'm focusing on the job, which is I'm doing a stunt special to the camera, so I'm talking to the people. So I have to maintain that connection, and
To
that's
keep your
what I
head.
stay focused on, yeah.
You
And
kept your
and there
head.
so there's
Yep.
there's there's comedy and there's comedy genius in there. I think that gets overshadowed by the idiocracy, the fact that I it was a dumb thing to do, but was it really? Because look at you've heard it a billion times now.
I've heard about it a billion times. Tell me about the music.
Um, so the music came because these guys, from the Found Footage Festival found me. Uh, Nick and Joe from the Found Footage Festival. So they had some people reach out and find me on Facebook Messenger. Hey, are you Martin Carlton from the Martin Carlton Sun Special? I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, we're big fans of your work. We want to come to Cleveland and interview you and blah, 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 blah. So
Sure.
that's exciting. This is like
You wonder
2020.
how many Martin Carltons they reached out to before they got you
Yeah, exactly. How many Martin Carls are out there in the world? I have to distinguish myself from the others by jumping out of a freaking tree.
out of a tree.
Um, so so yeah, so they did a show at the grog shop. And what Nick and Joe do is they've been collecting VHS tapes since they were in middle school. And they just have like 14, 15,000 tape collection, something like that. And they find these in obscure places, garage sales, thrift stores, whatever. And then they go through these tapes and they find these little gem, funny parts of the clips. And they try to reach out and find the people if they can, and and get a little more background. So then when they put a bunch of these clips together, and they put their show, and then they're up on stage. They sit there and they show each clip and they talk about each clip and give you information, stuff like that. They got they got me the shows. And so when they did the show at the Grog Shop in 21, December of 21, they invited me up on stage. They said we talked about stuff, but anyway, they said, so we've been selling these T-shirts, and we're gonna give you all the proceeds from the T-shirts for you to do the second annual Martin Carlton Stunt Special. Oh, it was hilarious. So, but they had a show to do in Columbus. They went to Columbus. They came back. We did an interview at the base of the tree, and then we did the second annual Martin Carlton Stunt Special. We'll have to figure out what that is. Wasn't anything crazy like jumping out of
It was fun. It was
it.
fun. I remember
Oh, that's right.
Tim Hale, who we talked about earlier, and
Yeah,
I think there's a fourth person. It might
and
have been Andy.
yeah, I think Andy
It might have
Canova
been
too.
Andy.
Yeah.
but we all went and it was a good time.
Yeah.
We saw the show and yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I love what those guys do. I was so inspired by what Nick and Joe had done. They took just their passion, what they enjoyed doing, and they turned it into a career. And
Yeah.
that's all they do for the most part. That's what they do. That's how they pay their bills and do their thing. I was just so inspired by that. So after seeing them, I started thinking, how can I squeeze a little more juice out of this dead lemon? And for some reason, I remembered back in the day, old celebrities or old musicians or something like that, when we haven't heard from them for years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, suddenly they're coming out with a Christmas album. I can't think of one. I don't know why, but maybe it was Burl Ives or something like that came out with a Christmas album or something. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
remember. But
Well, he had probably just done Frosty the Snowman. So
yeah. But so that's what I thought. I thought the first annual Martin Carlton Stunt Special Christmas album. And that's why I was excited. This was in, I think, January of 22. I got this idea. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. And that fueled me until we actually released it. And holy cow, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year.
it was last
It
year.
was
Yeah.
24.
I bought a physical copy of it.
You got it. You got physical
I've
media.
never heard it because I don't own a CD player.
Oh my God. So last year when I did the release, Found Footage Festival also has a YouTube show called VCR Party Live. And it's once a week. It's like, I think it's on Tuesday night at 9. And they had me on one time, special guest, and to promote the album. And I probably made, I don't know, 10 or 15 sales from that show, which was just freaking great. And t-shirts. I had t-shirts made. And what you'll notice is
there it is.
I took the logo that they had designed, and just made it Christmassy.
There you go.
See, I put a Santa hat on me.
You're a smart man, Martin
Oh
Carlton.
my God. I don't know how to market and promote at all. That's why I'm still in my basement doing a podcast with you. So there's songs specifically about the stunt special. You know, there's Police Car, a Christmas Wish police car, which leads up to talking about the police car in the parking lot, which is another part of the video. 2 pair of gloves. There's a thing where I talk about in the stunt special before I jump. I'm like, hey, first thing, I'm wearing 2 pairs of gloves, and I feel my hands are going to be too tight to grab onto the tree branches when I get to the other tree and hold myself. And so I take off one of the pair of gloves. There's a song called 2 Pairs of Gloves. There's a song called Count Backwards from 10, because there's a point where I'm on the ground and I'm still reeling from just hitting the ground from 40 feet up. And I'm like, okay, just count backwards from 10. I'm just trying to make sure I got my mental capacity, count backwards from 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So there's a song called Count Backwards from 10. So there's songs about the stunt special, and then there's just plain old kind of fun, silly Christmas songs that are original rock and roll Christmas songs. So
sure.
I'm very proud of it. It's the first time I've ever recorded. I've been playing guitar for 40 some years. I don't play like I've been playing for 41 years. I never wanted to be 40 some years. I never wanted to be a guitarist or an instrumentalist. I'm more of a songwriter. But the plan was to do a Halloween album this year.
How's that coming?
It's very slow because of the interruptions of my life. There is no rush.
There's always going to be a Halloween.
Always going to be Halloween. The idea I'm leaning on is the first annual Martin Carlton Stunt Special. I'm going to do holiday albums. I'm just going to do, because eventually I'll do a Valentine's album. I'll do a 4th of July album. I'll do a Mother's Day album. I'll just hit all the holidays.
A generic birthday one, so it doesn't matter what time of year, whoever's birthday.
Happy birthday, insert your name here. Happy birthday to you.
Right. And then like a guy falling out of a tree.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And I thought of a number of different things I could do, like where I'm jumping out of the tree, and then you AI it to where it lands and it's me with the guitar. I may see if I can AI a guitar in my hands as I'm jumping out of the tree, I don't know, and slow it down and look to the camera and zoom in and I'm singing words. I don't know. I don't know.
There you
The
go.
possibilities are limitless.
Well, Martin, listen, we've been talking a long time.
We
I've
have.
got a quick fire round. Couple questions I'm going to ask. You answer them quickly. We'll see where we go. You ready?
And okay, I
All
have to
right.
do it without using bad language. Okay.
Right. Okay. Would you rather sing or dance?
Dance.
Do you prefer the mountains or the beach?
Mountains.
Favorite movie?
Ooh, this is hard. I'm gonna say Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh, wow.
There's a
That I
lot,
did
and
not see.
there's a
Surprise answer for me.
lot,
I didn't expect you to say that.
dude. There's a lot, and they change. I can't like password. Like when you used to do a password, and they'd give you questions to ask to help you remind your, because all that stuff changes as your personality changes as you grow. So I can't do the what's your favorite thing. Silver Linings Playbook.
All right. Do you prefer wearing socks or going barefoot?
Talk.
What was your worst audition?
Worst audition. Worst
Do you
audition.
even audition, or are you so famous that people just ask you to be part of their
It's not
projects?
about fame. It's not about fame. I haven't done a lot of work, so I haven't done a lot of auditions.
Sure. Okay.
So I don't have a worst audition.
Would you? You can control your life with a remote control. Do you want a rewind button, or do you want a pause button? You can only have one of them. A rewind button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Did
though
you-
whatever I did, even if it turned out sort of good, I'm gonna go. I can do a little better.
Would you still jump out of the tree?
Oh, absolutely. I thought about doing that. Well, what if I went back and did that? Not now. Then this is like 30 years ago
Right.
so 20 years ago when I still probably could have done it. I thought, how could I do that to make sure it's successful? I'm like, if I could build a platform up in the tree I leave to where I can take like 2 or 3 steps,
You might have made it,
give me enough oomph to get over there to grab that one of those branches, would have been successful.
but then would the video have been as good?
No.
No, it would not.
Back in the day, I often thought about doing a second annual Martin Carlton Stunt Special and having my brother, like, get somebody else to hold the camera. And so my brother is in the other tree with a rope tied to me so that when I leap, he pulls to give me that extra oomph to get over there. And then I wanted to have it rigged so that I still fall, but it pulls him out of the tree too, and it gets stuck in the tree, and we're both just left dangling from the tree.
Oh my gosh.
That would have been funny.
Yeah. Too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, Martin, hey, how can if people wanted to reach out to you, what can they do? You have an Instagram, I know for sure.
There is an Instagram. Martin Carlton. Martin Carlton. That's on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Martin Carlton. I don't think there's an I in there. Martin Carlton Stunt Special at gmail.com.
All right, I'll find it and I'll link it. And you have a website, martincarlton.com, where you can buy t-shirts on there, right?
T-shirt.
Yep.
A Christmas album T-shirt. And
Sure.
so last year I released 4 singles on the streaming services. So if you go out there and you look on Amazon Music or Spotify or whatever the music places are, Screaming Across the Sky is one of them. Ugly Sweater Christmas, Christmas Bulbs, and I forget what the 4th one is. Holy Snapdragons, Batman. But anyway, I didn't want to release the whole album because the streaming services take all your money. So I wanted to sell it myself. So that's what's set up on my website. You can download it, but then the problem is if you download it, you can't put it into your streaming playlists because you can't. There's no way to get it in because they have their own system. So you got to work with their system.
I'll bet you people younger than us can figure that out.
You think?
Yeah, well, and you don't need a CD player, so it's better access to your music.
What I'm probably going to do this year is I'll probably release the entire album on those streaming services so that more people can just download it, and then you can easily put music into your playlists with everybody else. I'll be do that this
Martin,
year.
We're going to have to get together at some point here soon. It's been a long time since I've actually seen you.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you doing this first time.
Dude, I'm having so much fun. I want to get down there into your neck of the woods because I just don't do that often enough. And you're in the show. When does your show go up?
I'm in it's a readers theater at Dayton Playhouse. It's in a couple weekends. If you're in Dayton, reach out to me. Well, it'll be nice to just catch up as well.
All right, we'll
Uh,
do. We
you
gotta
bet.
watch the World Cup. We gotta watch some World Cup, at least one game. We gotta get together and watch a World Cup game. As
It would
soccer.
be fun. It would
Yeah.
be fun.
All right,
All
cool.
right, man. Thanks.
You got it, bro. Peace out.
Thank you for joining me, Martin. That was a lot of fun. Who knew that jumping out of a tree could lead everywhere that it did, huh? I'm going to link all of Martin's socials and his websites. You can take a look at his album, his t-shirts, any of his other merch. And just a reminder that this podcast can be found on YouTube and wherever you find your podcasts. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, TikTok. And again, if you want to be on this show or you know someone who should be here, hit us up on any of those platforms or send us an email at podcastseenandheard@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, share, let everybody you know. Thanks for listening.